Hey folks, Micah McGee here. This is going to be at least the third video that I've made on this location. And most of it happened before y'all ever showed up on the scene. So you don't know about this place. I have done an apple picking video here. I did a dirt reclamation box that's right behind Caleb back there. And also touched up on this gutter growing system that I built. So today, what are we doing? Well, it's apple picking time in Tennessee. So we're back at it again. We're gonna get up here, we're gonna pick these apples, we're gonna take them home, and we're gonna cook something good. Let's do it. All right, we've got all these apples picked. 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of them. So let's go to the house and make some pie. We should be able to make a pretty good pie, maybe even 2 pies with 4 bags of apples. All right, we made it to the house. The boys unloaded these apples for me, and I made a deal with them. Boys, you pick the apples, I'll make the pie. And they were happy with that agreement. But they did want to make sure I was going to let them eat some of it. Which, hey, if you watch the blackberry video, you already know that's how we roll around here. When it comes time to do the cooking, sometimes they go and hide out. Whoa, come back here. So here's what we're going to do. In our family, we can't live on one little round pie. It will start the next Civil War.
Don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III. Okay?
I don't like those kind of threats. So I just go ahead and make a big one. So this is 1 gallon ice cream bucket. And I'm going to fill that up. I believe 1 gallon will be perfect in that pie. So I'm going to pull out apples. These apples do have some bug bites in them that are healed over. I expect when I cut into them, I'll find that we lose part of it because of that. But I'll tell you the honest truth. I'd rather cut the bug bite out of an apple rather than have an apple that's got junk in it that's going to give me cancer. They're putting stuff on apples now. Even organic apples have something that they put on them that's very suspicious to a lot of people. It's called appeal, but it's not very appealing.
Biggest mysteries in the organic produce world right now is how did the new appeal coating with financial backing from Bill Gates get approved for use on organic produce? You'll see these appeal stickers on lots of produce items now. It means the produce has a coating on it, seals it up tight against anything getting in or out, preserves it longer, like the introduction of the refrigerator. Great, but what's in this coating? Well, it seems to be shrouded in mystery. The product intended to be organic, listed as Organapeel, is registered with the EPA as a pesticide with a rather short and cryptic ingredient list. Active ingredient, citric acid at 0.66%. Other ingredients, not named, 99.34%. And that's 100%. Great, it's all accounted for. Maybe it's listed that way because citric acid could qualify as organic if it's not from a synthetic source. But what about the other 99.34%? Because I'm supposed to eat this coating. Oh, and get this, the EPA requires this caution on the label. Wash thoroughly with soap and water after handling and before eating. The certificate the Organic Material Review Institute issued to it that approved its use on organics lists it as a fungicide with no ingredient specified.
So, I'm going to start with this amount right here. I'm going to peel these, quarter them up, get them in here, and I may have to do that many again. I don't know. I've got my apple peeler. I'm going to, come back. I'm going to put the peel in here. These peelings will go to somewhere. I don't know if a chicken or a pig or a cow will get them. That's none of my business and not my job. But I'm going to do this right here, and we're going to soon be cooking apple pie. Let's do it. Alright folks, right now is where it's fixing to get interesting. That did make a gallon. I'm pretty excited about that. I was very glad because that was a lot of work. The exciting part is this. We're going to do this out of our head. We're not going to have a recipe book of any kind, and that might be a little scary to you. I couldn't find any lemon juice. All I could find was this 100% organic lime juice. Never been opened, and I hope she don't kill me for this, because it will have to be refrigerated after this. I'll put it in the refrigerator. We got propane refrigerators. So I'm just splashing some lime juice over this to give it a little bit of perk. I need to perk it up just a little bit. To me, the big boy, and that's ground cinnamon. I want this thing to taste like cinnamon straight off the vine. So there we go, cinnamon. And next, ground ginger. I don't want it to be as strong with ground ginger, so I'm just going to do this right here. Next, and yes, this is how I make sausage. You don't have to remind me. This here is a seasoning that I made myself from my own wild plants. It's sumac berries, ground up sumac berries. If you buy it, it's called Zeotar. But don't buy it, just make your own. Call it sumac berries. What do we got here? Nutmeg. I just went in and started grabbing stuff off the shelf that looked like it would taste good in a apple pie. There may be never used nutmeg in an apple pie until today. I don't know, but you know, she might like it. She's not here, but she might like it. What do we have here? Vanilla bean powder. Whee! We're not going to go terrible heavy on that, folks. I think vanilla is kind of strong. I'm sorry it's getting kind of dark. We got a thunderstorm marching its way in on us. Next, I'm going to take half a cup of flour. We're going to mix that in with it. I'm going to go ahead and put a teaspoon of salt in it. And last but not least, sucanat. It's a sugar. Sucanat. And I'm just going to lay it to it because I want it to be sweet. That's a half cup. So I'm going to do 2 of them. Like that. Oh, and then another half. Just like that. We won't tell her what we put in it. We'll just say, hey, it's good stuff. I got my redneck spanking spoon here. And I'm just going to stir all this up together. Yep, my bowl is barely big enough. That smells really good with that lime juice and everything. That lime juice is helping it to coat the pieces very nicely. Very, very good. All right, let's get our cake pan over here, our pie pan. I'm just going to dump it in just like this. Oh yeah. It all went. I'm just going to even it out. I know what you're thinking, McGee. Are you going to make a crust? I think I will make some type of crust, throw on that. And you know me, I don't know how to make a crust. I'm just going to grab some flour, mix some water, milk, maybe some sugar, maybe some salt, and try to make me a crust. Let's do it right now. To me, it looked like it'd take at least 2 cups of flour to make a dough enough to make a crust like that. So I'm just gonna go 2 heaping helpings of flour here. I don't want it to really fluff up much, so I'm just gonna put a really tiny amount of baking powder in there, just enough to keep it from being really a hard crust. And at this point, we're really getting into some craziness. I've got cream and milk here. I don't know how much to put. If I was to measure it, I wouldn't know how much to put. I suppose it needs a little fat, so I'll put a little bit of bacon grease in it. Not a whole lot. What next? Sugar. I think it could use a little bit of sugar. Not too much, I'm telling you. Not too much. I've already got this thing sweet. Already got it sweet as it can be, so that'll probably do on that. And I'm gonna put a little bit of cinnamon in that thing. Not a whole lot. And I'm gonna start mixing her up good and see if it turns out to be something I can roll. I've got to be able to roll it and get it on there. Otherwise, it ain't much of a crust. You know, when you were in school, and this is what I'll tell my wife if she gives me a hard time. You know, when you were in school and they had you coloring in between the lines, I was making my own lines. I believe I'm gonna have to go in there with my hands because I can't hardly stir that no more. Yes, I believe it's rollable. Ain't that about right? It's fixing to get a little tacky and I don't want that. I'm going to take this right here. I'm knocking stuff down. I'm gonna have to do this just to keep it from sticking. Won't have to just lay this out here like that. Otherwise, she's gonna stick. I don't need it to stick. I gotta try to find a rolling pin. I have no clue where a rolling pin is here. Well, I found her lightweight one. I don't think she'd do much good whacking me over the head with that one. All right, here's our dough. I'm gonna put it here like this. I'm going to start by rolling it out this way. I ain't never done this before, folks. This is all new to me. It may turn out terrible. I don't know. I do know one thing. It ain't gonna happen by itself, so I gotta get in here and get with it. See how it's sticking? I've got it a little bit on the wet side, evidently. So there's an easy way to counteract that, folks. Throw more flour on it. Now let's see you stick, little boy. Now we're going to turn it back sideways again. Go out like this. Look at that. Look at that. Some of you guys watching this thing, boy, that must be hard. And I'm telling you, if you ever roofed a house, you wouldn't think this is hard. This is fun. You get on a roof when it's 95, 100 degrees, and then you'll think this is fun. Yes, you will. And you might even get hungry enough to eat it. Now you're about to see why I did it on this cutting board. Because I want to take that booger and hold it up there and see how my size is. I kind of like my size. I'm going to take it down the middle this way one last time. All right, let's hope my bottom flower is working because we fixing to flop his birthday on him. It may have never been done this way before, but it's been done that way now. Come on, turn loose. It don't want to turn loose. I'm going to have to get my spatula. I didn't hit the right button and I missed it. I had this laying like this, and I took this right here and I got under there and I scraped it loose. And that's why it's laid in there now. The rain is starting to fall. Let's get this thing out and get it in the oven. When I need to get some heat built quick, I use this small stuff like this and throw it in there. And that will get the heat rolling on that bad boy quicker. Alright, there she is. She's going in. 300, right now it's a little under 300 even, but it's going to get up. I just got to make sure it don't go above 350. If it starts going above 350, I got to start shutting levers, shutting doors, getting this thing under control. And of course, I cleaned the table up before she got home. There ain't no way I'm going to let her walk in and find some random rolling pin laying around. Some of you guys ain't done a lot of cooking and ain't cooked no apple pie. And it shows. I haven't cooked an apple pie either, but that's beside the point. Houston, we have liftoff. All right, folks, it has been 1 hour since I put it in. I do believe I'm going to take it out. Looky there. Look at there. Now that looks like a home-did manly crust right there. None of this flimsy, flaky business. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this or not, but I know they do this on bread that comes out of the oven. I'm going to butter this down. That might help because I think we're going to have one of them crusts that a wagon wheel could drive over and not hurt it a bit. So let's just do this. We'll see what we got when it comes time to eat. The boys still haven't got home. I have a feeling they'll be home when this smell starts drifting through the air. Because let me tell you, as you can imagine, it does smell good. Now, let's let it cool off. Grab some ice cream and we'll eat. See, Mom? I think it'll be all right. All right, boy, come and get it.
I thought it was jello.
He always does that. You may as well bring some paper towels. Just go ahead and get this milk. Oh! Now, when y'all are eating this, we're going to have to play a game. Because guess what is in it? Because I promise I did not use the recipe book. As you can well imagine, if you don't believe it, just ask all the people watching YouTube right now. They know the truth. No recipe book was harmed in the production of this movie. Alright, now the question is, will it come out? Oh, oops, wrong one. Sorry, ice cream spoon. Pass your plate, Joe. You may have to put the ice cream on just to soften it. Alright. I'm gonna let you go ahead and start the ice cream. You don't. I'm gonna turn mine upside down. Look how dark these are with different ingredients. I think they're starting to have second thoughts. Take some and pass it on down. There's one ingredient in there that you probably won't. No, there's more than one that you would never guess. But when you hear it, I think you'll think it's genius. Maybe I should have not put as much.
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon's a pretty fair guess on an apple pie. All right, everybody get a bite. Especially you two that don't have anything in. All I can do is hope. Hope for the best. What do you think about it, Joel? Is it like jerky?
Crust is a little tough, but it tastes good.
What's the question?
Nutmeg?
There's some nutmeg in there.
Smell it.
There's some nutmeg in there. What else?
I don't know.
Matt, what do you think I put in it?
Hopefully apple.
Oh yeah. I put exactly a gallon of apple in there. All right, Mom, I want you to.
Well, most likely sugar.
Rate me on my sugar.
Yeah.
Rate me on my sugar content.
That's good. Well,
I do know how much sugar I put in it. The rest of a lot of it I have no idea. I just shook it in. But the sugar I did scoop it out. Is it too tart or too sweet?
It's about perfect.
Yeah. It's a little tart, but
It does have tartness. That's surprising. That's surprising.
put lemon juice in it that way.
I put lime juice in it.
That makes a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I put a cup and a half of sugar in it. The one thing that you'll never guess I put is sumac. I figured that'd be perfect in it.
That may give it a little more tart.
Yep. And the other thing I put in there that you probably wouldn't guess, vanilla powder.
let's get the sumac.
Out of the drawer.
Oh.
But we made it.
Mm.
I put nutmeg. I put cinnamon. And what's the other one that's in there? Nutmeg, ginger, and cinnamon. Maybe I could have backed off on the cinnamon a little bit, maybe? What do you think? Is it okay? If
I
you-
like it.
Okay, let me put it this way. What would you change about it? Other than the crust.
I think it's good.
If I went by a recipe, how would it taste different from this?
It might not be as spicy with the mixture of spices like that.
I was definitely not holding back. 8 hours ago, these apples were hanging on the tree. And 8 hours later, they're going into me. And that's pretty good. I don't know that I would recommend for a lot of you guys to try this. But if you do, be sure to hide the rolling pin. Well, that was fun. I want to say a huge thank you to JJ for allowing us to come back and pick apples again on her property. I'm going to try to put the link to the first apple picking video that happened 4 years ago in the descriptions of this video or the head of the comments so that you go back and see it. That was one of the very early videos in our channel. So it might be fun for some of y'all that want to see what we look like and see what he looked like when he was only half of the age that he is now. He was a little squirt. But that's all we've got for you today. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.